Transmission power of Wi-Fi adapter. Well, the question arises, what is transmission power? How we can use it? What is the purpose of it? And what are the disadvantages and advantages of it? Well, take an example that if you want to hack the Wi-Fi of your neighbor, but your neighbor Wi-Fi is not in the range of your Wi-Fi adapter, whether that is your external Wi-Fi adapter or your embedded Wi-Fi adapter. So what you are going to do, how are you going to actually access that Wi-Fi which is not in the range of your Wi-Fi adapter? So there we need a transmission power. We will actually increase our transmission power, and then we will be able to actually get that neighbor's Wi-Fi in the range of our Wi-Fi adapter. But there are certain limitations in certain countries, because the transmission power increasing and decreasing certainly depends on the country's code and on the country's rules. Like in USA, you cannot actually make the transmission power more than 27 or something like that. The normal transmission power we have is a 20 dBm, that is 100 megawatts. But in USA, the normal transmission power is 27. But in Bolivia, we have the normal transmission power that is 28. So if you set your country code to USA, then you cannot increase your transmission power more than 27. But if you set your country code to Bolivia, then you can increase your transmission power more than 27, that is 28. Similarly, many of the countries have a transmission power of 31. So if you set your country code to that country's transmission power, then you will be also able to set the transmission power of your device to 31. But that will be considered completely illegal, because you are not living in that country, so you don't have a right to actually increase your transmission power. But just for the sake of education purpose and informational purpose, what you need to do is you're going to have to actually just check out that how it works. So I'm just going to show you that how we can increase the transmission power and set the country code to other one to actually make our transmission power greater than the current one. Now I'm just going to show you that how we can set transmission power live in the backtrack of a Wi-Fi device. First of all, check out and confirm that your Wi-Fi is connected, as our Wi-Fi is not connected, so I'm just going to connect it. So now I'm just going to once again check it, and yes, the tick mark appears, so it is connected. And then I'm just going to actually use main, that will be actually the manual, and then I'm going to use W for finding out the manual of the IW that is related to the wireless. So I'm just going to press the enter key, and now I am in the manual of IW and its commands, that how we can use the different commands with the IW and specify different options for it. So you can just simply check out the different options and versions, and as well as different commands with the IW. As you can see that we can use the reg command for regulatory agent, that is we're going to use to set the country code of any country, and as well as other plenty of commands you can use with IW. So I'm just going to press the Q button to get rid of it, and then I'm just going to actually make my wireless transmission completely down, because I cannot do it when I am up. When I am online, I cannot do it. I'm going to have to get offline, and then I'm going to have to use it. So I'm just going to use the different command, that is ifconfig wlane0 down, and press enter. Now my Wi-Fi is down. I cannot be connected to internet at all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use IW, and then I'm just going to set my country code to other country code, that is IW reg set US, and press enter. As you can see that now I have set my country code to US by using a reg command, that is regulatory. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually set the transmission power. First of all, I'm just going to confirm that what is my transmission power by using IWconfig. And as you can see that my transmission power is currently 20 dBm. So now I'm just going to increase this 20 dBm. So I'm going to use that is iwconfig wlane0 tx power to 27 and press enter. Now to confirm it whether I have successfully changed it or not, so I'm just going to use iwconfig and press enter. And as you can see that, wow, we have successfully changed the transmission power of our Wi-Fi device. Just completely and successfully. This is now 27 dBm. And we have set our country code to US. Now let's try 28, which is not actually allowed in US. 27 is the default one and the last one, and 28 is not allowed in US. So let's try the 28. So I'm just going to actually change the 28 and press enter. Oh, it's giving me an error. Error for wireless request set TX power 8B26 set failed on device WLAN0 invalid argument. Well, let's just tweak it and just trick it down. I'm just going to change the country code to Bolivia. So let's change it iw set, and I'm going to use BO code, that is a country code for Bolivia. And then I'm just going to use iwconfig, and then I'm going to use WLAN0 interface TX power to 28, which I was unable to set in the US country code, and press enter. Well, it is saying that iwconfig WLAN0 TX power. I just actually mistyped the TX power, so I'm just going to actually remove this, press enter once again, and then I'm just going to confirm it. And as you can see that now I'm successfully able to convert the transmission power to 28 dBm. Now my Wi-Fi device is able to actually put a range of more than 100 megawatt, and it can actually capture any of the Wi-Fi device more that is in the range of more than 100 megawatt. So in this way we could actually change the transmission power. But there are a few ins and outs you're going to have to know. The main disadvantage of this process of increasing the transmission power is that it could damage your Wi-Fi device, your Wi-Fi adapter. Because by increasing the transmission power, it could increase the processing, and the heating process may also apply to your adapter. And it will double the heating process, which might intentionally or in turn could damage your physical Wi-Fi adapter. So be aware of this demerit or disadvantage of increasing the transmission power, and as well as it's totally illegal if you are not living in a country and you are setting the country code of that country and then increasing the transmission power. So I'm just going to set everything back to my country, and that will be actually iwconfig WLAN0 TX power to 20, which is a normal one. I'm just going to check it and confirm it. As you can see that. Now I'm just going to make my Wi-Fi adapter once again back to the track. And this will be actually using the ifconfig WLAN0 up as we have used in the previous section. That is iwconfig WLAN0 down for making your Wi-Fi device getting down. And now I'm just going to use iwconfig WLAN0 up for making my device up.